I know of a case where a woman of God, Beulah Durstein, she and her husband Gerald were former Mennonites that came into the fullness of the Spirit and have been used of God in the nations of the world, especially working with the Palestinians. And they do a great work for God, and which is very hard doing it in Israel, working with the Palestinians, because you have a cultural problem there with the two different nations in Israel. And this is how it happened, and Beulah has told me this story twice, because I asked her to repeat it to me at two different times that I've been ministering in their camp. And it goes like this. This Muslim couple were sleeping in bed one night, and suddenly Jesus, or an angel, she thought was it. She didn't know what it was. She said it was an angel. She said, came to her and said, I want to talk to you. And she looked at her husband was sleeping. So she left the bed and went downstairs to the living room with the angel. And the angel sat down beside her on the couch and for 20 minutes to half an hour taught her about Jesus Christ, the Son of God, and said, you need to teach your children about Jesus. And then she went up, and then the angel left. And she went up and told her, woke her husband up. And he said, you're sick. I got to take you to the hospital. There's something wrong with your brain. She said, well, it's in the middle of the night, and nobody wants to be disturbed at the hospital. Your parents are wise people. Why don't we wait till morning and then go and talk to your mother and father, see what they decide to do with me? She said, I don't understand this myself. But she said, if I need help, I want help. So the next morning they went to visit his mother and father. They walked in the living room. They said, we have such a problem. We had this visitation. My wife said that she thinks an angel visited her in the night. And the wife looked around and she saw this picture on the table of Beulah Durstein. She said, that's the woman I saw. That's the angel I saw. That one there in the picture. And who is she? And the father said, well, that's my friend's wife. He said, we do business with him and her all the time. You do? Yes. And he's in Israel right now. In fact, I saw him today. Or yesterday. I saw him yesterday. And he told me his wife was not in Israel. She was in Florida. But the tour group is coming. And we're getting all things ready for the tour group. And so he said, I got to call my friend. See, maybe she did come. Maybe she came into the house somehow last night. So he called Gerald, and Gerald came over, and Pastor Gerald Durstein, everybody knows him. I mean, he's world famous. And he said, no, my wife's not here. She's in Florida, I know. And the tour group's leaving tomorrow. And so he said, I'll call. And he said, I think you better come. There's some strange thing happening here. And he said, did anything happen to you last night? She said, well, not that I know of. Well, let me talk to this lady. She thinks she saw you. So he gave the telephone to her. Well, Beulah can't talk the Palestinian language. And what they speak there, I don't know what it is. It's Arabic. I'm not sure what they speak. She said, and this lady couldn't speak English. But the angel had talked to her in her language. And so she said, well, I can't, sorry, we can't communicate. But she said, that's the voice. It was the same voice. but she doesn't speak my language now, and I can't speak hers. So Gerald said, I think you better come. So she called the airlines and found one seat still available, and it was next to her daughter's seat, where she would have been sat if she would have come. So she flew, and that whole family accepted Jesus Christ as their Savior. Now, they don't know what happened. No one can explain it. Was it an angel in her identity, or was she translated in the night and visited that woman? It's possible that we can be translated in the nighttime, in the daytime, or any time. I've heard of many that have had that experience. But this is one that's genuine, that I know of. And I believe we're living in times when we got to expect the miraculous. There are angels waiting to carry you there. You just don't put them to work. It's like having a beautiful car parked outside, but you don't drive it, because you're afraid maybe you'll have a flat tire on the way. There's so many things that angels are waiting in heaven, standing idle by at the unemployment office because we won't employ them. We're afraid to venture out into the miraculous. But the miraculous has been always available since the time began. The world was created by a miracle.